It was a bit loud in there, but essentially it's 7 a.m. The drywall guys just showed up to start the install, and they've been here for about 15 minutes and they almost got 2 rooms done. So they said they would have the second floor done today. So as soon as I get home from work, I'll show you guys some progress. Now, time to walk the dog. As you can see, we have drywall. Welcome to episode 13. Sorry for all the echo. When it's just bare drywall in here, it's gonna be pretty loud. Yeah, essentially there was a lot of preparation that needs to be done in order to get ready for the drywall, and I want to run you guys through that before we get too deep in the drywall. As I walk you through, you can probably tell that the drywallers are not the cleanest of trades. However, they do work extremely fast. They got everything done in pretty much 2 days. There's just a few little things to still get installed. There's also like 50 cans of muscle milk laying around. I'm guessing these guys are trying to do some hard gains. This little wall here is essentially one of the things that we had to get ready for drywall. We only had a temporary railing here before, but essentially we had to frame this with 2x4s, and I put these threaded rods in here. Essentially they go through the beam below. There's a coupler and then a threaded rod that goes through the top. Essentially I found this on YouTube. I'll try to find the link so I can actually show the video, but this keeps tension and essentially pulls this whole railing down and makes it super solid, so it's not gonna move anywhere. So that's a great little tip to get these little half walls solid, because there's nothing holding it up above. Another thing we had to do essentially was the strapping. So the whole second floor had to be strapped at 16" on center. The floor joists are at 24 on center. So in order to put the drywall, we needed something 24 on center. So we had 1x3 strapping or furring strips, whatever you want to call them. And we did that on the whole second floor. I ended up doing that most of that myself. I did hire my neighbor, who's kind of a general handyman, to help me out with the strapping. So he did the smaller rooms, I did the master bedroom, and then we worked together in the hallway. So he was super helpful. And that reminds me, I should probably pay that guy, so I'll go do that after. The strapping was also useful when we did the blown-in insulation. You could probably tell from my last video, I did more of a little DIY tutorial. I want to start a series of videos that's purely DIY stuff for the people that aren't interested in the vlog. I know that it's not for everyone. For those of you who want to follow along, I'm super happy you're here, and I hope I inspire some. I have been getting a few messages from a few people that have been following the channel. Ben Muirhead on YouTube sent me a really nice message. There's this Alex guy, he might actually be dropping by to see the house, so I'm super happy some people are getting some value out of this vlog. But yes, essentially because we had some really bad condensation on the ceiling because we did get the heat started, and essentially the attic is a cold space. All this hot air was hitting the vapor barrier and just creating this really damp environment, and it was pretty much almost raining on the second floor. So essentially we had to insulate before doing the drywall because I didn't want to ruin the drywall. So that took a whole weekend. Izza helped me out, and it went super smoothly. That allowed us to have a dryer space inside and actually do the drywall on the second floor. As you can see behind me, we have pretty much the final staircase. Essentially we got a carpet grade stair. We got a cool little detail we want to do with this kind of angled stair with no nosing. It's super contemporary. We found a cool woodworker, Victor, to do that. Once we actually start doing the stairs, I'll link to all his social media stuff because he's a really good woodworker in Ottawa. So we'll see what he's capable of, but I'm sure we'll get a really cool result with the stair. And we wanted to get that in before drywall as well, so that they can slide their drywall inside and we can go up and down and have a solid stair when working. I'm at the front of the house now. where the big window is, and essentially this was also a huge pain in the ass. We had to get this framed up with a whole wall of 2x6s in front, so we did lose a little bit of space, and that's because there's a plumbing wall in the corner there. You're not supposed to have any plumbing inside the the exterior walls, so everything has to be within the vapor barrier. Essentially, you don't want that plumbing freezing in the interior wall, so everything's kind of inside the envelope. And since on the ground floor it's just one big open space, we didn't really have any room to bring it in. So essentially the stack that goes up for the master bathroom that's right above us right now had to be in this corner. So in order to avoid having a box, we decided to kind of fur the whole wall out with 2x6s, and that kind of gives us a deep recessed window. So you can see the plumbing stack is in this corner here. We framed this out with 2x6s all the way to the window, and originally we had planned to only have kind of a box here and then this recessed back, but what happened was above that big metal beam was coming down like ½ inch, so we had to box that out anyways. So we decided on going the route of doing the whole wall as a deep recessed wall. And another thing I've been kind of working on for a few hours essentially is getting this whole underside of the stair framed, because when the drywallers were here, essentially they said that they couldn't drywall under the stair, so we're just trying to figure that out. We're not going to do the basement in this one because, like I said in the past, we're doing a basement apartment. We don't want to look too sketchy, although I am putting this out to the public. Maybe someone of the city's watching, but we're going to do the whole basement on a separate permit, so we're going to do that later on. With the drywall in, it's just starting to look like a house finally. So it's super exciting. And onto the mudding, I guess.